confirmed that a shooting took place on Orchard Street last night. Now, this is a look from the scene from our Western Mass news crews when they arrived around 8 p.m. Officers located a victim, who was taken to Bay State Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. That incident is now being investigated by the Springfield Police Department.
And now to Lanesboro, where police responded to reports of an armed robbery earlier this morning. That incident happening on Route 7 near the Lanesboro and New Ashford town line around 6 a.m. The victim was traveling southbound when they stopped to check on a vehicle on the right shoulder of the roadway. And as the victim approached the car, two men exited the vehicle and one of them pressed a gun to the victim's head. The suspects then robbed the victim, returned to their car, and drove away. The suspect's car was described as a dark-colored older model pickup truck with some rust, a ladder rack, and a Vermont license plate. The Lanesboro Police Department is now asking anyone with any information or footage of the incident to contact their department.
New at 5, former President